graduate students of the class of 2019, family members, friends, distinguished guests, faculty members, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is my great pleasure and honor to applaud all the graduating students for their great achievement. Congratulations. This year, 12 students obtained doctorates and 149 obtained master's degree. We would like to celebrate your achievements together with your family members and friends. 35 countries are represented by the class of 2019. I'm sure that your time at GRIPS was a great opportunity for you to engage in fruitful academic studies with such a diverse group of people from all over the world. I hope that the friendship you have created at GRIPS will be a valuable asset for you for the rest of your life. Because of your diverse backgrounds, each of you will face different kind of circumstances and challenges in your respective country. But there are common challenges facing all of us as well. This year, we experienced extreme weather events again throughout the world, including Japan. Heavy rain, landslides, typhoons, and heat. In the rest of the world, Cyclone Idai and Kenneth caused tremendous floods in Mozambique, Zimbabwe, and Malawi in March and April this year. More recently, Hurricane Dorian devastated the Bahamas. Typhoon number 15, also known as Taksai, caused blackouts in Chiba and elsewhere, and actually water leaks in this world. It is hard to determine the exact causes of these extreme weather events, but in all probability, they must be related to anthropogenic global warming. We cannot ignore natural disasters that are unrelated to climate change either. Last year, Indonesia was hit by a number of earthquakes. One that occurred in September 28 in western Sulawesi was of the magnitude 7.05 and triggered a devastating tsunami. Hokkaido was also hit by a major earthquake in early September last year, which caused many landslides and a major blackout across the island. I'm sure that our graduates of the disaster management programs will strive to make a significant contribution to disaster risk reduction. But those working in other areas of public policy should also be aware of the importance of disaster risk reduction. The United Nations will hold the Climate Action Summit on September 23 and the Summit on the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, on September 20 and 20. It is good that many heads of state will attend these summits. But the prospects of achieving the goals of the Paris Agreement and many SDGs are not particularly encouraging. The report of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, released last year, warned that in order to limit the world's surface temperature within 1.5 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial levels, all countries must adopt much more radical measures than they had pledged after 2015 Paris meeting. We are not on track with achieving some of the most critical SDGs either. The number of people living in extreme poverty, according to SDG 1, should be reduced nearly 0% by 2013 across the globe. This goal was agreed upon when the world achieved the goal of reducing the rate of extreme poverty by half from 1990 to 2015 under the MD. The percentage of those living in extreme poverty was reduced from 36% in 1990 to 10% in 2015. But this year's SDG report published by the United Nations warned that if no significant policy shift is made, the number of people living in extreme poverty globally will be about 6%. And in sub-Saharan Africa, it will exceed 10% in 2030. My dear students, your role in achieving both the Paris Agreement and the SDGs is extremely important. In your respective roles, I hope that you will design and implement measures to mitigate and adapt to climate change, and that you will design and implement plans to achieve SDGs. In this connection, I'm pleased to report to you that a number of GRIPS alumni have responded to our call to participate in what we call the GRIPS SDG Award competition. Last August, we asked the alumni to join the competition by reporting the activities that they are engaged in that would contribute to the achievement of SDGs in their respective fields. More than 20 of them have already sent the activity reports. We plan to confer the GRIPS SDG Award in this academic year. My dear graduate students, because we plan to continue this program in the coming years, we are looking forward to having your applications in the future. The world continues to face geopolitical challenges too. Despite the series of summits between the US President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un over the past 2 years, there is no prospect of stopping North Korea's nuclear weapon and ballistic missile program. International politics in the Middle East has not been moving towards stability. The wars in Syria and Yemen are continuing. Tensions between the US and Iran produce uncertainty in the safe navigation in the Straits of Hormuz. More fundamentally, what has started as a tariff war between the United States and China now appears to have become a protracted competition about technological hegemony. The prolonged trade war between the two largest economies of the world could bring about a global recession and major changes in the global value chain. So, the world you face is full of challenges. As administrators, researchers, and leaders in various fields, you are expected to manage, study, and lead in your respective affiliation. Today is the era of big data and artificial intelligence, so they say. If you have relevant big data with hidden patterns, with the right AI algorithms, you can reveal those hidden patterns. Indeed, the amazing advancements in speech and facial recognition could not be possible without big data and algorithms such as deep learning. However, deep learning has so far produced impressive results only when the data is really big, when the data actually contains patterns, however complex they are, and when the dependent variables are clearly defined, as in the case of chess and Go, or clearly given or supervised, as in the case of recognition of letters and faces. But in many public policy areas, big data are not actually easy to come by. The number of countries in the world is only about 200. The number of municipalities in Japan is not big either, only 1,724. If you obtain monthly time series data covering 50 years, the number of observation is just 600. They are hardly comparable to the big data that are used in successful deep learning applications. In this sense, as many of you have done in your research papers or dissertation at GRIPS, you have to rely on traditional statistics and econometrics. Sometimes you can find clear patterns with strong statistical significance. Sometimes with a robust research design, such as randomized controlled trial, you may even make conclusions with clear policy implications. But oftentimes, particularly when working on the ground, it may not be easy to find patterns with narrow confidence intervals, or you may not be able to implement RCT research designs. Sometimes the preferences of all the stakeholders may be evenly divided, or not clearly known, or they may be ambiguous. In other words, the goals or dependent variables may not be clearly defined. More fundamentally, in many policy areas, we may not be able to find stable patterns. About 4 decades ago, the computer scientist Gerald M. Weinberg put forward what he called the law of medium numbers, a kind of parody of the law of large numbers. He asserted that the law of medium numbers held when the n was neither very large nor very small. What does the law say? It says, I quote, "For medium number systems, we can expect that large fluctuations, irregularity, and discrepancy with any theory will occur more or less regularly." What are you going to do under such circumstances? If you are a pure academic, you may simply give up and start a new project. But for many of you who work as administrators, executives, and decision makers, throwing out the task simply because you cannot find neat patterns or policy measures supported by strong evidence is not an option. If you are in the lower hierarchy of your organization, you may be able to pass the buck. But as your responsibilities increase, you cannot do that so easily. You have to make a decision. No easy answers exist under these circumstances. But you have to realize that the very reason that administrators, executives, and decision makers are hired is because organizations need people who can make decisions under uncertainty. If the task of administration were automated, as, for example, is the task of facial recognition, then we would not need administrators, executives, or decision makers. That is, I believe, what Governor Kabashima Ikuo of Kumamoto, an eminent political scientist himself, referred to on this stage when he quoted Bismarck maxim in his speech at Grips Forum last July, quote unquote, "Politics is the art of the possible." You have to choose among difficult possibilities. Sometimes, as Dr. Kabashima said, you must make what appears to be impossible possible. As you know very well, the curriculum at Grips is based on the scientific. Here we teach you to think scientifically. The ultimate requirement view, policy papers in the case of master's program and dissertations in the case of doctor's program, is a way to have you think scientifically. But it is actually a way to train you, develop the art of the possible. Here you are required to complete a policy paper or a dissertation within a limited amount of time. In order to do that, you have to make innumerable decisions about methodology, data, and interpretation. The final presentation of your research is made in accordance with the scientific method, but your choice of the topic, theory, hypotheses, variables, and data cannot be made automatically. You have gone through numerous decision-making processes under uncertainty, researching topics governed by the law of the medium number that are subject to, I quote, repeat the quotation, large fluctuations, irregularities, and discrepancy with any theory. In this way, you have been trained to excel in the art of the possible as well as in the use of scientific methodology. I believe that having gone through this stress test, you will be able to address the challenge of difficult decisions confidently and with humility. This year marks the 22nd anniversary of the establishment of GRIPS as a national university and 42nd anniversary of the establishment of previous GSB. Over a 42-year history, we have graduated more than 4,700 talented students from 115 countries who are now contributing to the betterment of society throughout the world. The network of these human talents is your asset. We are redoubling our efforts to support the activities of our alumni, for example, through the establishment of alumni associations internationally and in Japan. Graduating students of class of 2019, I would like to thank all of you for your contribution to GRIPS through your academic and non-academic activities. Although this year I was not able to attend the Culture Day, but I'm sure that it was full of great performances and that everyone enjoyed it. Also, I applaud you for your voluntary participation in the academic and extra-academic activities in the summer program. No matter where you will be living from now on, GRIPS is your home away from home. We will welcome you whenever you visit Tokyo again. Congratulations and good luck to all of you.